Okay, welcome. Michael Wickerson here. Testing. This is a architectural massing generator. So as you can see, as soon as it runs and builds a foundation, it can then go on to build blocks, columns, beams, bridges. It can convert them from concrete, even though I've got this all set to wood, but I can switch back to concrete, I can switch back to steel, and I can make pieces. And basically, it's also got a wind resistance, and it has a foundation strength, which can be adjusted, but I don't know if these numbers are really playing into it. I'm just going to leave it as concrete base, reset it, and you can see that it basically starts over and generates whatever you want it to be. It's pretty cool, and you're generating as many geometries that are coming out. The way this is working is I could change the scale, I could move this, and let's see, it'll be more square geometries now as it loads up. So that will be another way to do it. I kind of like that too. So you can play with these sliders as you're going. The other way to have some control over it is, it doesn't really matter if this is jumping from concrete, I can leave it up and it's just moving into different materials. It's not really reading as that. And then I also have some oscillation patterns over here. So as I start over, I could adjust my oscillation here so I can pull it off into another direction. You're just letting the math and the functions will control what actual shapes this takes on. So I could go smaller and have smaller pieces and have a much smaller map. That's generated scale-wise, and then I'm also able to do a multiplier of the orientation, which this is the orientation which will go through 90 degrees to 180 to 270, but really it's just the two types that are oscillating. And then this was the scale, that was the orientation. So that was the orientation. Let me check that out. Do I have that one hooked up right? No, that was the size. So it's playing off of a size of 0 to 1. And it's kind of a nice little pattern. So just a random kind of generator, controlling by your geometry, controlling by your scale, where you want to place it. I do have it going through absolute value. What would be nice is if I actually oscillated this from edit all the way to -10. So I can play off of that. Let's go into here, bring that one down to 0, and do that. And that way I think it will oscillate all the way to the negative. Let's see if we get a different shape. But it's just running on a data timer and moving through, and you can see we get these nice little patterns as it goes. I'm not sure if the negative actually is the result. I didn't put it through an absolute value. I did put it through an absolute value here. Okay, I'm going to put that through an absolute value. So maybe for my x position, I can follow that back, and I don't need to do an absolute value on x position. I can bypass that. And that might, hopefully, start over. That might throw me into the positive and negative directions all the way here, and then I should oscillate all the way over to there. So that's perfect. So if I want symmetry, so I don't really need the absolute value tucked in here. I don't need it for y either, so I can simplify that script, and I can simplify this script, and that's going to allow me to build almost a circle as I do a generation. So that is a pretty nice way to generate a massing project. When you're done, you can just turn it off and it's not running anymore. I've shut off the start game and I'm able to take the geometry that I made and bake it. And so you can create three-dimensional architectural mappings as I bake it. We'll do it all as, I will just do it separate. There we go. I baked the whole cityscape from a math function that's oscillating through sine and cosine. A very fun little exercise. You can start over if you want. And let's, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a nice little tool. I could turn it back on if I wanted to continue, and I could change my scale. But what a fast massing project that was to think about what you would actually make. So I think I'm awesome. You should think I'm awesome. And you should grab hold of this, and I'm going to put this up for, basically the script. What was the script? That's the best thing, is GPT wrote this entire script for me. Absolutely fantastic. So as I go into there, the script itself is probably, under 200 lines of code. Very nice. Easy, and those are your inputs, and those are your outputs, your input geometries, and your game messages. Basically, I'm building games and having fun with that and building an architectural massing project. So we've got it off, and I think I could probably turn this off, and the timer I could trigger off as well. You can set it for different speeds, and you have one heck of an interesting, almost chaotic, uncontrollable architectural massing generator, which I think is done the Wickerson way. That's it. Thanks for watching.